Hey, it's Trudy, and I'm sitting here this morning having a little cuppa, and the Mercury has just gone direct today. And I'm feeling its directness by, not by that everything's falling in place yet, but that, I love making fresh almond milk. I'm on almonds. I had some almonds, pre-made almond milk in my refrigerator. It was curdled. I poured it in my coffee and ruined it. I had to make another pot of coffee. I had to search all the cabinets to see if I had almonds. So, I just had this kind of morning. But I did stay up late watching a Netflix special about Walter Mercado, who's a astrologer from the 1960s and 70s. Well, I think he's more like a healer, a gifted healer that brought the message of love and was super caring and had so many fans because he was an actor that was giving all his fellow actors advice behind the set. And then one day they decided to film him doing that. And the response was crazy, and he wound up with a show. And this show aired all through the 1970s and 80s and made him famous as an astrologer when he used to wear these outrageous capes. You have to check it out if you have. One thing I noticed, and I have such a pet peeve about what is a sun sign, right? So everybody, you could see all his fans were like, I'm a Cancer, I'm a Scorpio, because that was their language of telling him that they loved him and they loved his readings. And he gave such good, positive, amazing advice. He was such an advisor and such a clear channel that it wasn't really that he was using astrology even. It was that he was his channel, and astrology was a popular tool. I feel like astrology now has become very super cheesy and mainstreamed to the point where, like, I go to the Indian astrologers to get any juice out of astrology these days. And I even studied many years and did a 4-year program, and then studied onward with an astrologer from India. So what I find is when people come in my store and they start talking about what their sign is, that lately as an astrologer, I haven't been coming from like love as a healer. I've been coming from my knowledge side, which is just like, I am so turned off by people telling me their sign, because I use a completely different system of astrology that follows real astronomy. And most people don't even know that Western astrology isn't following astronomy. So, this is a whole other video for me to engage in. But for today, I just want to talk about how solidifying ourselves as a sun sign is creating a self-limitation on our possibilities of who we are. It is a big confusing world, and I feel like astrology can put you into astrology puts you into a framework so that it's sort of like a playpen, an astral playpen, so that you can kind of understand and comprehend the universe a little more. But the truth is like there is no comprehending all this whole big giant world. It's infinite, and we'll never know or understand everything. And all the great knowledgeable rishis and spiritual masters and gurus will tell you that knowledge is a big dead end that happens in your brain. Knowing and understanding and wisdom is not a dead end. This is where we should reside, this comes more from our heart and our soul and our gut. And that's where our real brains are, you see? So to get all caught up about, I'm a Virgo, or I'm a this, or I'm a that, that is like a dead end scene. So I really don't encourage people to see themselves as a sun sign. And I call it the sun sign game. All right? So the sun sign game. It is a kind of a language for people to connect with on an astrological subject, because we all know what day we were born and it fits into the Gregorian calendar, and it is easy to figure out where the sun is. The sun actually travels a degree a day, and it goes through those 12 background signs. But when you start to study astrology, you know what you find out? That those 12 background signs aren't at even 30 degrees each. You know, if you just, one example is if you go into a sky guide and look at Libra compared to Virgo and Scorpio, you see like it's way, Virgo and Scorpio are way taking up more space in the sky than the little Libra's constellation. So this is something to understand, is like our houses, we just make equal houses in astrology and call them 12. And they assign them 30 degrees, but really they actually kind of vary in size if you really want to get down to where the star clusters are. And if you go into Indian astrology, you get 27 signs. And I feel that is a way older system, because the Romans weren't using 27 signs. The Romans were using those 12 months and 12 signs, and this is how it evolved. So the 27 signs in Indian astrology get way more specific. And when I do a reading, I'm considering both worlds. I'm not just doing Indian astrology. I'm also thinking Western. But those 27 signs and the star clusters are such a valuable source of information. So it's very good to look into the Indian astrology system, because I feel it's deeper, it's richer, it's older. It was never interrupted by the Middle Ages or, you know, manipulated like astronomically. You know, Western astrology has been manipulated astronomically. It forces everything 24 degrees back from true star time. So every year, the first day of spring will be Aries. Like, and you know, if you studied anything in school and was paying attention, that the earth has a wobble. And we don't have the same perspective all the time. We're shifting in time and space. The earth isn't even stable, right? Nothing is stable in this universe. So when we apply astrology, that the first day of spring is always the first day of Aries, it's a mere poetic adjustment, and it's not actually the truth. So for me, I want to know the truth. I want to know, because I know the truth of astrology is where the feeling comes in, and that knowing that I can apply. So this is your facts about astrology, and this is like your knowing as a healer and as a reader. So you have to have the true astronomy, and that's sidereal time. And that is why when I hear people say that, just yesterday someone came in and she goes, I'm a Sagittarius. This is why I'm having all these problems. And like when I asked her birth date, she said it was December 9th. And when you look at astrologically, you know, Western astrology, yeah, that's a Sagittarius. But when you look at the sky and her birthday and sidereal time and Indian astrology, December 9th is Scorpio. The sun is in Scorpio, sidereal real-time Scorpio on December 9th. So I said to her, you know, you can't just put yourself in the Sagittarius boat. I go, maybe you got something in Sagittarius, but you're a deeply feeling, sensitive Scorpio, you know, and the later degrees of Scorpio is in Indian astrology where people are it's like the deeper, darker, people have more feelings to deal with in that towards the end of Scorpio than when you're born in the beginning of it. So you could just see her sensitivity, and I told her, don't box yourself in with that Sagittarius stuff. You be optimistic and hip hopping in here. And she was dragging herself and laying low and looked depressed and like she really needed something. So generally, Sagittarians are not the ones that look like that. And she's very watery. Her body type is very watery. And a Sagittarius is often not holding as much weight, water weight. So I would just, don't put yourself in the sun sign box, okay? To say you're just one sign is off. And in Indian astrology, you're your rising sign. So whatever's on the rise, that's what they say you are. Okay, so the sun is just a part of the mix. You have a Venus, you have a Mercury, you have a Mars, you got Jupiter, you have a Saturn, Pluto, Neptune, all these things. And they're all floating around out there in a certain pattern. And that pattern and their relationship to each other all is like your chart. So you're this magical pattern of energy. You're not just a sun sign. That's just like saying, I have a nose on my face, you know? It's like, no, you have a complete face. So you gotta like look at it like that, you know? You might have a nice nose or a big nose or a little nose, but still you have a face. Without your face, you don't have a nose. So that's how your sun sign goes for me, like to just narrow yourself into a sun sign. It's nice casual chit chat, but we want to get down to healing and to the truth of our charts, and that's where the key is, to see the bigger picture of your entire chart and the energy that that planetary pattern makes. All right, hope you followed me the whole 10 minutes, and have a great day. I'll talk to you another time.